Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppers. Today, checking out the final beers I have from the recent package, or recent. When I try these, they've been sitting for a little bit. Sorry for that, Dan, but there's just been so many beers to try as well, so sorry, man. But I enjoyed the others you sent. We're trying the final ones from Medvedgrad. The others I drank, well, they were just sitting on my hard drive to reviews for a while because there was so much other stuff I also wanted to post, but they're aired now, and these are the final three. These are three quite different ones, I think. So we've got Vragec, which is a red session IPA on 4.8% alcohol. And then we've got Zeko, which is a Belgian blonde ale on 7%. This used to be a Saison, but for some reason they changed it to a Belgian pale ale. And then we've got CugMajstor, which is an Imperial Pilsner on 6.1%, which is apparently their kind of Oktoberfest beer. They had an actual Oktoberfest beer, but this one replaced it. So I think it's actually maybe best to start with this, the Pils, and then finish with the Session IPA. So let's start out with Zeko, a Belgian blonde that used to be a Saison, where the money earned on it, or part of it, goes to humanitarian causes. So pours a lightly hazy golden yellow color in the glass, white head. Let's check out the aroma, and of course also a massive thanks to Dan for the beers. Again, sorry for the delay of the review of these. Caramel toffee, definitely classic Belgian phenolic character. I think he said his bottle of it was like complete flat, but when I popped this, it really fizzed up. There's a bit of a candied sugar note. There's some stewed pear. Smells pretty classic. Let's try it. Cheers. Yeah, very classic stuff. Really bready, fluffy, airy, definitely high carbonation in this bottle. It seems really similar to the likes of like a Leffe Blonde or, you know, Grimbergen or something like that. Just like maybe a little bit more yeast driven and not as neutral, or definitely a lot more yeast driven. That's just the last two. Like I don't really drink Belgian blonde ales that often. So it's like the last two I think I had was those. So that's kind of what comes to mind. Although those are really subpar beers. This is really classic. A bit fizzy on the palate, a bit hissy. 7%. There's some pear. There's some stewed apple. Maybe even a grape quality. And maybe even a touch of candied sugar. Maybe also dried apricot. It's all right. Again, it's like not my preferred style, but there's like nothing off about it. But let's jump on then to the CugMajstor, which means I think like the person, the name. What's the name of a person who drives a train? Actually, I can't remember. Togfører in Danish. But yeah, so 35 IBU, 32 IBU, 6.1%, Imperial Pilsner. Yeah, I mean, again, Hallertaumittel for Tetlang and Aurora. Okay, doesn't sound half bad. What about this one? Does it also say hops? No, it just says the ABV. Let's check this one out. So pours a color where you think, yeah, this could be like an Oktoberfest beer, Märzen type of thing, even though it says Imperial Pilsner. But I could see why they would release this for the Oktoberfest season. Slightly hazy, but otherwise it's like this pale golden, darker golden yellow color. And then a nice frothy white, off-white head when I poured it, and it's leaving some really nice lacing on the glass. Let's check out the aroma on this. Ooh, really peppery, but also there's a substantial malt bill in this. You can feel that it's definitely stronger. I mean, this is towards maybe like Maibock territory, really, more so than like a Märzen or Oktoberfest beer. Spicy, noble hop qualities really shining on it. There's like lots of pepper. There's a little bit of a woody note, but I actually also think this bottle is lightly oxidized. Because there's a little bit of a sherry vibe. There's just like a light kind of sherry nuance to it. Also, loads of sweet malt. Let's try it. Cheers. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, definitely Maybach kind of style. I think more so than like Oktoberfest beer. Really rich malt character, lots of sweet bready malt, and then pair it with like floral, spicy hop notes. Heavily bready, like really bready, chewy. Like it, I think to make this even nicer, it needs more, even more like hop aroma and flavor to cut through, because it feels really hefty. But other than that, it's got a pretty nice, vibrant hop character. What's interesting though, for 32 IBUs, it feels not that bitter. It's got a lot of sweetness going through and whatnot. But if you compare this to, say, Wagner's Hellerbock, this does not stand a chance on earth. Like, that beer was miles ahead of this. It feels a bit more cloying. This one, there's like a little bit more like, it's almost like too sweet bready. There's like more sweetness and breadiness than is enough for its own good. It's almost like a little bit of like a sugar coated breadiness to it, because there's some slight sugary sweetness, but then a nice bitter, spicy, slightly floral hop bouquet on it, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's nice. I don't. Again, also don't think this one is as good as the best beers I've had from Medvedgrad, but it's also not the worst. But let's move on to the final one. So the Vragec. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm butchering your language, but yeah, this is 45 IBUs, 4.8% reddish IPA, session IPA. So yeah, definitely red in color. It looks very old school. A bit of haze on this one as well, like a rust orange color, white head, off white, maybe more beige. Let's check out the aroma on this one. Oh, money. So this is definitely the best of the aromas on all of them so far. This has like vibes of Sierra Nevada. It's got a really fun aroma. There's like crystal malt, caramel malt, but it's light. And then there's like jamminess to it, almost like forest berries or something. And on something, and some passion fruit. And there's something that reminds me a little bit of grenadine, which is really interesting. Yeah, there's a little bit of grenadine to that for some reason. But for sure, the best smelling of the bunch and the lowest ABV. But in general, really nice. There's some sweet citrus, maybe blood orange or something like that. It smells pretty nice. Let's try it. Cheers. Definitely the best of the bunch. Definitely. I think it's only 4.5, right? 4.8. The body is, it could be better, but like still the hop flavors are pretty tasty. It's like really old meets new a little bit. I mean, because there's definitely passion fruit, there's blood orange. Um, I find more vibrant, modern kind of flavor, especially the passion fruit note. It's not all like pine resin. It's definitely got a lot of fruitiness for like a more bitter session IPA. There's totally loads of Founders All Day IPA about this. Loads of all day IPA about this. It has like that crystal malt backbone to it with a little bit of slight kind of spicy, toffee kind of nuances, a little bit of just like crystal malt flavor, but without like heavily oxidative hop flavor, which is interesting. It's actually tasting surprisingly fresh. But in terms of grades, my favorite for sure is Vragec, the session IPA, and then CugMajstor, and lastly, Zeko de Reko. Funny enough, the other way around compared to how I drank them or started drinking them. If we start with the Belgian Pale, I think it's quite a Belgian Pale, Belgian Blonde. It's quite all right. I mean, it's pretty much what you expect for the style, but it's not something that really tickles my fancy. It's, I don't know if it's a personal preference thing or what it is, but like, I'm having a hard time going 80. I'm even thinking 78. I mean, it's something in that ballpark. Like, this is something where I feel like it's all right, but it's just like, it's got a lot of sweetness. It's got a lot of spice. I don't know. There's a little bit like almost like corn syrup or something to it. And there's a heavy acetaldehyde apple. Like, it feels like it's a beer that's going to give you a massive hangover. I don't know. There's just something about it I dislike. If we then jump up to CugMajstor, the Imperial Pils, kind of my bug type beer, but I still think it's quite all right. So like early 80s, 83, 84, maybe something like that. And then finally, and again, I think this is where this brewery mainly shines, is the hoppy stuff, is the Vragec. Again, it's not something that's rocking my world. Like, it feels a little bit like like these three feels like a little bit like supermarket craft compared to some of the other ones I had from Medvedgrad. Like, they feel like something that's spread out all over the country, all stores. It's almost like buying Vragec in Denmark or Jacobsen or one of those like loads of supermarket kind of craft breweries that's around these days. Like I don't know, these three, they do not hit home for me as much as some of the others have done from Medvedgrad. Although I know they can do some nice stuff. So this one, still definitely a whole lot better, but I'm like 86, 87. But it also might be because I held on to it for maybe a bit too long. I don't know. It's just, they're not rocking my world. So yeah, decent beers. Again, have to be 100% honest. But again, also take into account that I had these sitting for way too long. I'm so sorry, man. It's, yeah, there was just so many beers I was really excited about trying. It's like, oh, I want to get this out. I need to get this out. And then, sorry, these sat for a bit. But they're still, I mean, if you love Medvedgrad, I'm sure you'll love these. If you guys had a chance to try these, let me know your thoughts on them. Thanks a ton to DM for the beers. We finally cleared out the last beers from you. Thanks a ton, man. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notification about videos. And I'm going to say cheers and see you guys in another beer review.